I think the biggest thing for me today was the theme of seeing God's hands and being God's feet. I love that, especially for a situation like today, just because it doesn't say anything about using words. It doesn't say anything about a language and speaking someone's language. I was really apprehensive about seeing the kids and not being able to really communicate with them and speaking Spanish. But it didn't matter because you went in there, you grabbed a hand. Today we were able to meet the kids. I don't think I'm ever going to leave.
It's maybe not something that I totally understand myself. There's a passion in me for the children at Hogar de Niños, And I oftentimes would worry about it, I can be on the plane headed back home and I'm already excited about the next time I'm gonna go. I've studied a lot and realized that we're called to something more than just trying to lead a comfortable life here in the United States. And God made it very apparent to me that He wanted me to be helping in Honduras. The first time I ever went on a surf project, it was in 1989. At that point, my life was spectacular. And I go on a surf project, and I slept on a cot that wasn't very comfortable. We ate food that wasn't the best, but yet it was one of the best weeks of my life. We didn't understand it at first. We would go down there and try and get as much work, you could possibly accomplish. And then some little kid, you get off the bus, some little kid grabs your hand, and drags you and sits down. It's transformational type stuff. And we realized over time that a more important component was to build a relationship with the child, for heaven's sakes. How much time and attention and love does that child get that's like in a family setting? Whether it's with a group of kids or maybe just one-on-one, those relationships just continue to flourish.
I didn't know anything about my story, and my grandpa started telling me everything about how I became part of the orphanage. My grandpa was telling me this, and she said, your mother was raped when she was 14. It was tough. It was tough for me. Now I know that it's okay because God had a plan for me, but it was so hard for me to hear that. So when my mother gave birth, because she didn't have a place to live, she went into the church and a nun helped her. Mami Carmen was always open to support other people, and they took me there to the orphanage just when I was just 1 day old.
Came to Honduras for my first time in 1999. I spent the time out on the farm, and there was a little boy there, Juan Francisco, nicknamed Pancho, and after the first week I just fell in love with the little guy, and I talked to Mr. Allen and said that I would like to sponsor little boy Juan Francisco.
Well, the first time I met Bernie, I just remember him giving me a candy. I was playing soccer with all my brothers and sisters. Everyone was just throwing the candies, but he had a candy and he gave it to me. We started talking, we were working together, and I was just feeling like my father was with me. I didn't know anything about a family, but I could feel that. I could feel that love through him.
our entire family feel that we've been so blessed to have Juan in our life. And what a pleasure it's been to watch him grow, not only physically and emotionally, but spiritually.
I remember a time when I was in high school, a guy told me, Francisco, how do you feel being in an orphanage without parents? And I was it was my first time I heard that question. I started praying and asking God why I was not normal, why I didn't have a family. But I know that I have a lot of brothers, a lot of sisters, and God had a bigger family for me. So I got children as a family.
Terry DeBoer, he's a guy I've known my whole life. He's a guy that was born deaf. Every time a group comes back, many lives are transformed, but, he comes to the top of people that were just blown away.
The biggest thing for me today, too, was seeing one of our members, Terry, be able to do sign language. One of the boys at the farm we went to is deaf, and he was able to use his hands to speak to him and minister to him.
I hope you understand me. I noticed yesterday some of God afraid. But this morning, everyone, the angels see me, they come to me. And the whole hand want to play with me. Today, I had great time with people. I enjoyed with her. I feel God touch my heart. I need your prayer for me to think about, to speak to her. I'm thankful that God sent me to him to meet her. People.
Very smart girl.
Coming on the trip, I was pretty apprehensive about what we would be doing and what jobs we'd be fulfilling, what things I'd be good at, what things I wouldn't be good at. And today, I think a big theme for me was just everyone has their own gifts, talents, strengths, weaknesses, and God uses it completely for His glory.
Era como mi hobby subirme a los árboles, todos los días, desde que era una niña chiquilla. Ya tenía 15 años, era una muchacha. Y yo subo, me caigo, pero cuando yo intento incorporarme, yo me doy cuenta que las piernas no me responden. Escuché una conversación del médico. Dijo que 2 años después yo iba a morir. Yo tengo 38 años de mi accidente hoy. El gran provecho que puede sacar una persona con discapacidades, verdaderamente descubrir que uno por sí solo no puede vivir. Y eso yo pienso que es la mayor ganancia que yo puedo tener de la discapacidad. Aprender a abandonarme en Dios. Porque cuando a uno no le falta nada, hasta Dios le puede faltar y ni cuenta se da. En cambio, cuando no lo tiene todo, uno sabe que depende totalmente de Jesús. Y yo espero en Dios que mientras me dé vida, yo pueda continuar viendo que esto crece, pero más que todo, que los niños están creciendo.
Bueno, yo nunca lo conocí a mi padrino, pero yo tenía a Alan y a Pamela y Paul, que siempre ellos estaban, sentía yo como que estaban más pendientes de mí.
I continue to talk to Pedro. He's madly in love with his wife. He's a tremendous provider for her and their daughters. Anybody would be proud to call him a son.
Si no hubiera sido por el hogar, tal vez yo no estuviera en este punto. Que ahora, en vez de que me ayuden a mí, ahora yo estoy ayudando al hogar. como dije, es el futuro de una nación, ¿va? Los niños, los jóvenes. Y ellos vienen a contribuir para que estos niños de aquí algún día sean alguien. Incluso hasta un presidente puede salir, ¿va?
You know, the first time I went down, there was 18 kids, right? You know, and then all of a sudden there's 28, and then 38, 58, 68, 100 kids. There hasn't been a blueprint, you know, for all God's children, and sometimes it was overwhelming. I tell you what, if I go to heaven and God has to ask me, hey, I gave you an opportunity, why didn't you? Why didn't you care for them? It's hard to figure out why God would even allow you to be part of something like this, right? Because we're all broken. So why would God use you? I don't know. But I do consider it a privilege to be part of it.
I never thought I'd be able to come down here when we started sponsoring Miguel. I don't know, you sponsor him for so long, and he's just this person in Honduras. I just didn't realize like how connected we were with him until I got to meet him. So that's why the letter yesterday from Miguel was so special. Like I could have never imagined that we made that impact. I think what mattered more was the relationship we were able to form through all the letters and words. Once again, this theme, you always think you're giving love, so much love to them, and what you actually receive back, you could have never imagined.
We've learned probably more from them than they have learned from us, and I look forward to the way God is going to use them in the future. He doesn't need your abilities, but he needs your availability. So take a step of faith.